Welcome to the big picture.
Where we help you see.
Think and act big.
Hey, hi guys. This has been a wonderful, time for us to be recording this episode. And today, with us is a sales training expert that we really want to be in the show because, we really believe, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, business people, sales people that are, watching this show. And, David's selling is just like
They say selling is one of the two skills that you really need to master in life.
I mean, it's like 90% of the whole
but
thing.
I don't know if our guests will agree.
I don't know, yeah. But for me, it is like, how can you get people to say yes to the product and service? And we really believe that, the person that we invited, our guest for today, because we attended one of his classes.
We're graduates. Hopefully he's a proud one.
So I hope you're excited. So I hope you're excited as like me and Dave. Ladies and friends, the big picture community, let me welcome Elvenril Camus. Hi, Elven.
Hi, Joseph and Dave. Thank you for having me here. So blessed to be part of this podcast.
Wow, thank you for being here. I know, I know you've been every 2 weeks you're almost every week, right? You have training and you're busy with meeting clients, and thank you for taking the time to be here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, so right off the bat, for the few people that doesn't know you and what you do, can you give us a quick, a brief, story about, how did you arrive to the person that you are now?
Well, let me reintroduce you myself. Elven Camus. You can call me Elven. So I started as a room attendant in one of the hotels in my place. Originally, I'm from Cagayan de Oro. So after working as room attendant, luckily I got promoted in the same hotel as front desk officer. And then from there, one of our valued guests invited me and approached me and said, Elven, why don't you work in our company? We want you to work in our company. And because of that, I said yes to the offer. And the reason why I transferred from CDO to Cebu City way back 2012. And from there, I started working in one of the migration firms in Cebu City here. So I started working as front desk officer because that's my expertise, no? And along the way, I realized, to be exact, after 8 months, I realized that I can do better. Not just for myself, but also for the company. So after 8 months, it was like I was praying kung unsa gid ang akong work after 8 months. But then, I felt that I can contribute more for the company. That's why I decided to step up. I was not promoted nor hired by the management of the company to transition or transfer from one place, front desk, to immigration. I was the one who volunteered myself to be part of the sales team. And because of that, I transferred. And along the way, I did my best in selling. And first 5 months, I was broke in selling. And it came to the point that I almost gave up. And I talked to the manager of our company and said, I think I need to go back to where I started. And they said, no need to go back because I believe in you. You can be the champion in the team. So from there, I became a sales. We call ourselves as migration specialist. So I help people migrate to Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Yeah. So from there, I have helped hundreds or even thousands of people, change your lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Elven, you said like you kind of struggled the first few months. How hard is selling?
Well, at first, to be honest, I didn't have that kind of skills when I joined the, sales team. Because my background is all about customer service. But I always believe that all the skills can be learned.
Yes.
So that's what I thought. And because of that, I banked on that idea and I invested in myself. I attended different trainings. And from there, I got the right skills and art of selling.
Yeah. But, when you started as being part of the sales team, did you right away face a client, and how does it from a beginner's mindset, I imagine that during that time you were still very raw, right? And then was it difficult for you? How difficult was it?
Yeah, actually, when I started in sales, the protocol in our company was we're given like 90 days, to be exact, 3 months to complete the training process.
Okay.
But in my case, I didn't complete, to be honest, the 3 months because of my excitement that time that I would
So
want
there was
to,
a sense of confidence.
yes, the confidence to approach people. And I think after 3 weeks, I talked to some
Client
clients.
already. Yeah.
And of course, with the guidance of my mentors and through them, then they coach me in my selling process, and clients said, "Oh, okay, let me think about it," and all this stuff. So since I didn't have those skills, I just said, "Okay, just call me once you're ready," something like that.
So it's very interesting because like one of the, we call that objections, right? But when you start selling, one of the common objection is I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Right? And I still remember back then, when I was selling insurance, I don't know how to react. I want them to say yes because I think it was good for them. But when they say they have to think about it, who am I to interfere with their thinking, the thinking process? Mm-hmm. So that's, and I believe that's across the board, whether you're selling their future in immigration, or
the service,
product, or whatever. I mean, it's always this almost the same objection, right?
Absolutely, because in sales, true sales happen if sorry.
It's okay.
True sales happens the time when the prospect or the person you serve says, "Let me think about it."
That's the beginning of the sale process.
Absolutely. So
enlighten us.
yeah, absolutely. So all salespeople should be ready in addressing that kind of objection.
So that's normal.
That's normal, actually.
You should look forward for it.
Rejections are normal.
Rejections are part in selling. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So most people actually come into sales not knowing that, right?
Yeah.
And some of us, some of us might be forced in a way, or they see it as an easy thing to do, or I don't know. If you think about sales, like anyone could be an insurance agent right now. Anyone can be like a seller of cars, right? There's
True.
not much like a barrier for you to get in, and all of a sudden you're in this job, and then you realize that sales is hard, right?
Yeah, it's hard especially if you already run out of family members and relatives to sell to.
Yes. And people are avoiding you because you're
absolutely
selling online.
Yeah, that's the challenge in sales.
Yeah,
That's
so
challenge in
maybe
sales.
we can get into that. Like, if you were to maybe give some tips, or if you were to recall, what are the right things and maybe the wrong things most people do when they start selling?
All right. A lot of people think that the easiest job for them to generate income is to get into sales career. For me, well, it could be true. Like one of the professions to generate more income is if you are in selling business. But what I can say to people who are aiming for that kind of mission, I think this kind of people will never long last in their career. Why? Because if you know your mission, like your mission, why you're entering sales into sales training, sales business, then that's the time you can say that, you have the right mission, and that mission should be of service to people. But if your mission is just to earn money, then I'm telling you, you will be a short-termer salesperson.
Wow. And that's mind-opening for me and for most of our listeners.
Can you explain a little bit, because when you say that if your mission is to get money, why?
No, your mission is to serve.
Yeah,
not get money in a way.
If your mission is to get money, why is it that you don't have longevity in that career?
Yeah, because in selling, it's a transfer of feelings. People can sense it. People can feel that you're only after for the money, not for the service of people. So the reason why at the end of the day people cannot get what they want, salespeople cannot get what they want because prospects are avoiding them. Like once they get that kind of money, they don't they forget about the service. So in other words, in selling industry, you need to build your network. How can you build your network if people are avoiding you?
Awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's so there's the mindset that needs to be corrected, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like getting into sales is almost it's almost very easy. I mean, you submit few requirements, but then staying in the sales industry and actually excelling
Yeah.
takes skill and the right attitude towards the business that you're in.
I agree with you. Attitude is one of the keys for us to develop as sales professionals because if we lack that kind of, character or values in our career, then things will never go into place.
Okay, so what are the maybe like the top characteristic of a really a salesperson that will really excel in the industry?
Yeah, for me, I have three. And the first one is we need to have that passion. Passion means doing what you love and loving what you do. Because once you have that passion, meaning to say your mission is very clear. And that mission is to be of service of other people. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. You need to have the right self-discipline. Well, if you plan, for example, today that you'll be talking to 5 prospects the following day, things will never be the same at the end of the day. So something like if you have a discipline, if even your supervisors are not watching you, then still you are doing your job
Yeah.
to the highest level. That's discipline. Even if not all days are happy days, right?
Right.
So there are days that you're not feeling well or you don't want to talk to people because
Or the
in
weather is
selling,
gloomy.
absolutely, yeah. So especially like traffic or whatever it is, no, like it's hard for us to keep up on track. So here's the thing: if you are a salesperson and then you don't have that kind of self-discipline, well, I'm telling you, even the way you set your things, the way you organize your things in your cubicle or in your office, that speaks a lot. Why? How you do something is how you do everything, right?
Yeah.
So I always believe that self-discipline is the second, tool for us to develop as sales professionals. And the third one is this attitude. You mentioned that. It's very important, attitude. Why attitude? Because if people say, hey, I think... Okay.
Yeah,
So-
you can pause this. Well, just start like this later.
Okay.
Sige, okay.
Ay, makataman na.
We're not live. Thank you.
By the way ba? Asa ko tanaw gyud? I'm confused.
Kaya lang.
Ari lang.
Okay, ganaan ko dito.
You can move once in a while, but this is like the main camera.
We'll just angle that.
Si kanila normally focus and then magtanong sa inyo, right? Like it's like we're talking.
We're just talking normally.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're on a third person.
Okay. So
Right, what was that? So third point, third character.
Self-discipline and attitude, yeah.
yeah, the passion, self-discipline, and the third one is attitude. It's very important to have the right attitude because if you encounter rejections or some objections from the people you serve, most salespeople stop. And these salespeople cannot see bright on the other side. So attitude means like being grateful in such a way. For example, if you receive some complaints or some rejections, you just consider it as part of the lessons that you need to overcome. Because if you overcome these lessons, then it's easy for you to be at the top.
Right.
Yeah, it's as if you're saying that it's a numbers game, right?
It's a numbers game.
At the last part, right?
Yeah.
It's a attitude. All right. So also you mentioned this, like your mission is to serve. So are you saying that whatever product it may be, whatever company, we still have the same mission?
For me, it's yes.
Okay.
Why? Whatever you do, whatever service or product you offer to your customers, selling is transferable. Selling skills are transferable.
Right. That's very important, guys. Right?
Yeah. So some salespeople are saying, "Oh, I think I cannot sell this kind of offer." It's because the cost or the investment is 2 million pesos. Nobody would buy this kind of investment. or would invest this kind of amount. But I'm telling you, if you have the art of selling, it's easy for you to offer that kind of service to somebody. It could be a tangible or intangible product. Regardless, we need to learn the art of selling. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, these are really good what's it, input, right? But I'm wondering, in your case, Elvin, you started, you definitely built the skill, right, to get to this point wherein you have a clear understanding of the sales process, the art of selling. I want to know, like, how did you bridge that gap from a beginner to now someone who is like accustomed to, like, selling, and at the same time actually teaching others, to empowering others to become really effective in their sales business?
Yeah, actually, it's not magic like you want it this way and tomorrow you'll get it. It's like it takes time. For me, I remember one of the selling situations in our office that time. The time I started the script, the scripting, like if somebody asks or if somebody says, "Let me think about it." So how do you address it? I made that kind of template or script under my table, and somebody came to our office and inquired for migration. And along the way, the same objection. At the end of our presentation, he said to me, "Elvin, let me think about it." And that moment, I was, memorizing the script word for word. I want to get the right way of answering that kind of objection. And then I was putting my script under the table. And when he said, "Let me think about it," then I said like this, "I understand, Mr. John, you wouldn't take your time thinking this over unless you were seriously interested, would you?" And then he said, "Yeah, yeah." Then I forgot the next line. What I did was I just covered my forehead and take a glance at my script.
Right.
And he noticed my script under the table. And he said, "What is that? Take it out." And I took it out and he said, "Okay, read it." I read. I continued.
This is the client.
Client in front of me.
Wow.
Client in front of me, the prospective client. So I read the whole script and said, "Oh, may I ask you which part of your opportunity is it that you want to think over? Is it about the service of our company?" And I did like this. And he said, "No, I like your service." "Is it about the product of our company?" No, I like your product. "Please level with me. Is it about the money?" And he said, "Yes, about the money. By the way, I like your script. Can I borrow it?"
Oh my goodness.
Because that guy was also a salesman.
Wow.
He's offering, car. He's a car salesperson.
Yeah.
And he loves the script. And he's using the script right now.
Wow.
Amazing.
But that's a very interesting situation for you. You get to practice with a sales guy.
Yes.
Did he? I don't know. Did he ever came back to you and
Sometimes we chat. Sometimes we chat and we're asking how did it go? Did you maintain the script? Did you use the script, the lines? And he said, yeah, I like it. So it takes time to practice.
Yeah.
Like it's not a magic. Not just once nga akong nabuhat tong inato, but there were times that I checked or I based my script in actual selling process.
Elvin, I'm just interested about this because a lot of salespeople doesn't have any script.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm talking with my experience when I was still selling. I think nobody will actually stop selling. I mean, we're all selling.
Yes. You're right.
All ABC, always be
Closing.
Sorry, we're all trying to close, right? But in my case, when I used to have that type of profession part time, I somehow, like, there's no script in my mind. I just kind of go with the flow, and sometimes you close. Most of the time, you don't close, right? So how effective? How effective is a script, and how do you create a script?
Okay. Now, especially for new salespeople or beginners in sales, we need to write the script. Why we need to? Is because once we write those scripts and we practice it, it became more natural on your end. And once it will become natural on your end, then that's the time you can say it. And then you need to put art. Art means the way you deliver the script. matters most. Okay, so a lot of people think that no, I don't like the script. It depends case to case. If the client says like this, and another client says like this, so it depends. You're right, but then your foundation is your script, but you can do some twist on it, and that's what we call art.
So the art means you apply art so that you don't sound robotic.
Absolutely.
And like there's the art side is anticipating when the client goes out of script.
Yes.
And then how can you bring him back to or her back to the script?
Absolutely.
Is that what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's not just about the words that you say. It's how you say the words.
Wow.
It's very, very
So that's
important.
the art, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's the art.
Can,
what
can
I'm
you
trying
give a
to say.
sample of like common mistakes in terms of saying it versus like the right way?
Yeah, for example, a lot of salespeople are saying this. You know what? I like this product. Why don't you buy this product? Maybe you can try this product. So it's a statement. The art there is this. Ma'am, what are you looking for? Are you interested in owning this kind of opportunity? That's the art. Converting a statement into a question.
Right. And why is it more powerful to ask a question?
Well, this is one of the biggest mistakes of sales professionals. Sales professionals, like they tend to deliver or tell all the benefits of the products without asking the customer what he really wants. So the biggest mistake there is this: they assume that these prospects need this kind of product, and as a result, they ended their presentation 2 hours or 3 hours because they keep on telling about their products, their service. They talk about the existence of the company. They talk about the people,
company profile,
profile,
the product history, the
yes,
different benefits.
all those stuff, all those stuff. And then at the end of the presentation, the salesperson will ask this question: "Oh, by the way, do you like this product?"
Yeah.
And the prospect says, "Actually, I'm just here to inquire."
Wow.
Wow.
So in that way, you're damaging your time. You're
Yeah.
damaging the time of the person
Right.
you serve.
Exactly.
So better to ask, so that you can filter the idea, you can filter the need of the person at first from the beginning of the presentation.
Yeah. Because mainly you want to serve
Absolutely.
people, right? And if they're not really, you qualify them each time, and if they're not into it, then
Yeah.
that's the moment you let go.
Yeah, profiling.
Why waste your time
Absolutely.
delivering all of your presentation, right?
But a lot of salespeople, that's their mistake. They keep on telling, they're thinking that they're so good at communication, they're so good in delivering the features and business. I mean the products and the benefits and the features of the product. But the truth is, people will not believe in what you said, but people would believe how you made them feel. If you ask questions, it shows that you care for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, selling or making the purchase is an emotional.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've read that somewhere actually.
Yeah,
So
people decide based on their emotion,
Emotions, exactly.
and they will defend their decision logically.
I see. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact that when you do before you even do a single presentation, you actually you're suggesting that you're actually asking them what they actually
Need.
it
Yes.
for, right?
Absolutely.
Because like I think like every person is like, if you think about like a sales process, some of them are not really into it yet and they just need more information, while others are already there. They already have the money on their pocket, and like it's just really, they're just there to sign up, they're just there to complete the documentation of the purchase. And sometimes like we end up like in the salespeople, sometimes we end up like talking for a lot of hours, and
Yes.
sometimes maybe the client will just get annoyed already.
Absolutely. In fact, you can simplify your presentation in just 15 minutes by asking lots of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back, Elvin, in terms of like, how much what type of investment for any salesperson do they need in order to master the sales process, or at least to master the art of selling?
Well, there are many things where you can invest for yourself as a sales professional. The thing is that whatever trainings or investment that you are doing for yourself, everything is okay. But the best part is this: when you apply those skills, the moment you finish the training, the moment you invest in yourself, the ultimate key to success is when you apply those skills and see the results at the end of the day.
Okay, like we're in Cebu, and I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're in the training business. Both Dave and I are not. But this is what we notice sometimes. We do conduct training on podcasting, but we notice sometimes is that people are hesitant to pay for training. I don't know. It's something like maybe they're used to free training in the company or something like that. I don't know as a reason. But if you think about why, I guess my question is, why should people invest in training?
Well, number one thing for us to grow professionally and personally is we need to invest in ourselves.
Right.
It's very, very important. We all grow, we all die at the end of the day. So we need to maximize our life here on earth.
Yeah.
Well, I might be spiritual here, but I always believe that we are born to win, in short. So we need to prepare to win, plan to win, so that at the end of the day we can expect to win, right? So we need to invest. Investment is very important. Well, I remember the time when I started investing in myself, I think 3 or 4 years ago, there were concerned individuals who approached me and said, "Elvin, I think we can pay for your investment." And I said, "I think I'll do it on my own."
Yeah.
Why? There's a totally difference when somebody pays or invests for your training than you're paying it for yourself. What I'm trying to say here is this: if somebody invests for you, like company managers are sending their staff for the training, most of the time the result is these people are not so into when it comes to application.
Yeah.
Why? Because
They're not invested.
Yeah, people have paid for them, but if they do it for themselves, like they are cashing it out from their own pocket,
Right.
then they cannot afford to lose it.
Yeah.
So in other words,
They have to get it back.
to get it back by applying the
applying it.
skills.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, and this is something that Dave and I always mention in the big picture, is that it's very important, especially when you're already out of college, and the feeling is like, I've already educated, when in fact there's so much more to learn, especially in this changing, in the times that we're in, where there's so many things that that changes. There's so many industry that gets created year per year. New skills are needed, and you just have to invest. Like a guy the name of Dean Gashosi said it this way:
Yeah.
if I can write a check for my problem, then I don't have that problem. Meaning to say is this: if your problem, for example, he said that if my problem is, let's say, I don't know, like maybe the car is his car is gonna be pulled out by the bank. If he has the cash, then that problem disappears. And so what that means further is, if you can invest on learning, then the problem that will be created because of the problem that's supposed to be created because of your ignorance will disappear. And so it's very important to me, it's very important, and this is something that I learned last year, when we started investing in like training. We started investing, attending classes, and whether online or actual, it's just very powerful and transforming. And in your case, Elvin, I really think like a lot of salespeople, like I said, a lot of salespeople are trained in their company, but I think if you really, because everybody else in the company are trained the same way.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get that edge, I think you need to really find a training and invest in yourself, and just go through different training and apply the principles that we're taught.
I think we should consider like a sales professional or a salesman is actually it's like a real profession, right? Like
Yeah,
doctors,
it's-
they always study their books. They always study their cases all the time. It's a continuous learning, and yeah, that what's shocked me at some people who are into sales. I'm not naming anyone, but basically some of them they get into sales and they don't consider it like a real profession, right? That they need
Yeah.
to study about it and they need to invest about it because that's if that's where the money comes from, guys. I think that's where you should focus on, like
Yeah.
putting money to learn more about it. So
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, so
Napoleon Hill put it this way: if you think education is expensive, then try ignorance.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Very true, right?
In your case, Elvin, who influenced you to take
Yeah, or
training,
what
or
like,
maybe is there an event?
the
right?
the event like really pushed you,
that pushed you.
I need to learn this.
Right.
Was there any big failure?
Yeah, one of the things that truly inspired me to do my passion in teaching salespeople to get what they want or to improve their skills is this. I am inspired to teach salespeople because a lot of salespeople nowadays are untrained.
Agree.
What does it mean, untrained? Untrained means these kind of salespeople, when they see somebody along the way or on the street, they see dollar sign on the forehead.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the way they do things is totally opposite from sales professionals, like the trained professionals. Why? Because when they approach, this is their lines. This is their line. Hey, you know what? I want you to try our product. And I want you to see the effect. I'm telling you, if you have conditions right now in your body, you will be healed by using this product.
Right.
Or maybe, are you insured this time? You need to get the insurance.
Yeah.
Or maybe, are you looking for a house? You need to get a house.
Right.
Or are you looking for a brand new car? I think you need to have a new brand new car.
Yeah.
So these are the sales people that I call untrained. Why? My question is, how can we offer a house, a car, an insurance to somebody if we fail to build a good relationship at first? So what I'm trying to say here, you can only offer your product if you build good relationship first. Because if you build good relationship at first, then it's easy for them to say yes to you. But if you offer your product first and then build relationship after, chances will be they'll say no to you.
Yeah, it's funny because just recently I posted something online, right? So about it's a stock market group, and I was like putting a hypothetical situation. What if I have this amount of money and I invest it? And of course, all of the comments are there, and all of a sudden, there are people who message me, and they were like telling, "Oh, you want to learn about stocks? You want to do this? Okay, you visit this, and I've referred this someone, and like
Yes.
I was added in a group, like there's this mentor of him, and they're like, "Oh, this is the right person you call," and I don't even know why I was there.
Right.
Like, they were asking, I don't know those people, and they're like, "Oh, you should go here to this occasion so that they will teach you and all."
Yeah.
And they didn't even ask me if,
True.
like, do I have those investments
How-
already,
yeah.
or have I attended those already? So,
Right.
So it's really crazy.
They just
that some people-
assume that because
and-
you're asking that question.
And if you say no, then they're gonna say, well, "What if you're gonna happen to this?" And then,
Yeah.
and the more likely I won't even
So
I'll
that
block
inspired
you for
me.
that.
That inspired me to step up and to train untrained sales professionals to be a better professional in their selling career. Yeah. So my mission right now is to help professionals
Yeah.
to, be a professional one, guided by elevated passion, discipline, and attitude. So I'm doing this for sales people out there and also for organizations and other individuals who want to achieve their desired results in life. Yeah. So that inspired me.
Yeah.
I want to help these untrained to be trained.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. Simple. Because I was also a victim when I joined one of the biggest events in Manila. That was 3 years ago. And there was this lady who approached me and said, "Hey, I've noticed that you're from Cebu, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And yeah, maybe you want to try our product. This product can heal your headache, all the stuff in your body. And I said, "Oh, really? Do you want to try, sir?" Okay, sure. So he applied some products on my head, and I felt so, okay, yeah, that's nice. But you know what? During the event, there was one exercise, like partner share. That time, we were sitting beside each other, and then instead of doing the partner share, like sharing the lessons, what we've learned from the speaker, we talk about
This product.
not the product, we talk about the approach she did to me.
yeah.
And I told her, you know what?
Ah.
I am a professional salesperson, and I'm a sales trainer. The way you did that, to me early in the morning was very, very unethical. I hope you'll be fine. Don't find me wrong. Don't make this conversation more personal to you. But I'm telling you, I am here to help you. What makes wrong? She asked me, and I said, "Hey, you cannot. I don't know you at first. How can I buy your product?
Yeah.
You should have, built this kind of relationship first with me.
Right.
Why? Because if you build a relationship with me first, then maybe there will be a chance to try your product."
Well,
And she said, "Oh, okay, yeah, next time I'll do it."
since we're talking about
Relationship. I mean, I just have to
Sure, go ahead.
ask this. So how do you build relationships then? Like
Good.
for a stranger,
Yeah.
like you meet on the streets, how can you some people can close it like in a minute. I don't know if
Yes.
that's true, right? If they can close it on one meeting.
But
But how can they do that? Like how did the process work for building
Yeah.
a relationship to closing it?
Yeah, from acquaintance to paperwork approval.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So I love that question because in my training I include that
Yeah.
how to build a good relationship with somebody else or to somebody else. So the first thing is we need to be a master asker.
What's that?
In other words, we need to ask lots of questions to somebody. For example, like we're meeting, I just met you, and then we're waiting for our flights. I'm doing this at the airport, terminal, or wherever you are in the place. You can build good relationship by asking simple question. "Sir, I've noticed that you're waiting for your flight. Am I right?"
Yes.
Yeah, of course. You're in the airport, right? And then after, I'll ask a follow-up question.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, are you going to Manila or somewhere else?
Yeah.
And the person
Without
says,
questions, right?
"Yeah, we'll answer my question, right?" And you'll say, "Okay, well, I'm going to Manila." "Oh, wow, I'm also going to Manila. Maybe we're on the same flight. Is this your flight as well?"
Well, good.
"Oh, yeah."
Good so far.
Yeah. "Well, if you don't mind me asking, what will you do in Manila? Are you in business or for vacation or for what?" And the person answers.
Yes.
And then after that, "Oh, by the way, sir, may I know your name, sir?"
Okay, so you get to know.
Yeah, I get the name of the person. And then after that, I ask him again. "If you don't mind me asking, sir, what do you do in your life?" And the person answers again.
Yeah.
And then after 5 or 6 questions, there will be a time that the person you're asking to will be asking you the same question. "Oh, what about you, sir? What do you do?"
Right.
And you say your mission.
And you say your mission instead of "I am a sales professional" or "I am a real estate agent" or "I am an insurance advisor." Don't say that. Don't scare people.
Yeah.
So in other words, if they ask you that question, "What about you, sir? What do you do?" That is your moment to shine. That's how
This
you
is-
build a relationship. In other words, the person is trusting you. Why?
Yeah,
Because he will not be asking you a question if he is not interested to
Yeah.
you.
Interesting.
So since he asked you that question, he's willing to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right.
So be a master asker wherever you are, and you can build
Yeah.
good relationship.
Actually, I've read this somewhere, like a dating tip, right? Before when I was single.
Good.
So yeah, some people are, there were this questionnaire like how most people you go on a date who always ask, you actually feel better after because you felt like he's the nicest person in the world.
Yeah, because he's interested. He's
And,
interested to the lady or the lady. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's a technique for some
But-
master
yeah.
dater.
What the
That's
thing
actually-
is, it's like this. If you don't know the art, you can sound like a creepy guy.
Exactly.
Yes.
like in a date or even in an airport. But so the art is
Very, very
Yeah.
important.
very
Very
important,
important,
right?
Yeah. Especially if you're talking to a lady. Especially if you're talking to a lady, don't ask this question, by the way, especially if you're a male professional. Don't ask this question, are you married? Nobody likes to say, yeah, I'm married or single.
Yeah,
They
it's
will
like-
avoid you for sure.
Yeah.
You can ask, there's a proper timing or the right timing for you to ask that kind of question. That if they'll ask you the same question once again, what about you? What do you do? Because you keep on asking, the person is interested about you as well. And then the time will come, you engage, you exchange conversation, you exchange ideas. And then along the way, wait for the question.
Yeah.
And then when she or he answers your question, then that's the time you can throw another question, and then until it connects to your business. So the questions that you need to ask for you to be a master asker are very, very important. And the questions are in a form of like personal questions, not questions about business. Because if you ask
Yeah.
questions related to business,
That's already-
you're sending a message to somebody that, oh my God, this person
They're
is
not
selling me
really
something.
interested. They just have an agenda that they're pushing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So personal questions are very,
Exact-
very
wow.
important in doing this kind of, building relationships.
Awesome. Yeah. I just like to share a story also. Talking. I don't know if this is the next topic, but talking about like my experience with some sales professional. One of the things that I've experienced in the past was this. I book a meeting with one of the like sales manager in a mall, in one of the major mall here, and then she told me like, oh, we can meet, instead of meeting in my office, we can meet somewhere else. So I was like, no, however it works, as long as I get to present, the software that I have, that I created. Because that time I was like building this app, and that I was kind of pitching it. So when we were there, I was wondering why we were in that place. It's a coffee shop, and I started pitching. She said, like, yeah, it's nice. I can definitely talk about it in my boss. I said, okay, that's good. So I started asking, like, when can I get a feedback? And then she said, like, oh, I'll give you feedback sometime. And then later on, she said, now it's my time to pitch. Then she brought her laptop. He showed me. If you sign up now, and I'm like, okay, that's the reason why we're not. And you know what? I would have been ready. I would say it's a nice product. It's a nice service. I would have been ready to, to join or refer them to someone. But because I was there, like mentally,
You felt like you were betrayed, or you were
I felt like
deceived. In a way.
I felt like I was deceived because we're supposed to be doing this thing, and then in the end, I was just this, and then it made sense now. I said, this is the reason why we're not in the office, because she's actually here to pitch to me. I'm not really interested to. So it's kind of like those kind of things.
That's more of like the common. I would not bash any networkers, but that's usually how they do it, right?
Yeah.
Like they invite you in a different.
Absolutely.
Like they invite you with a different cause or a different reason. Then all of a sudden they're pitching you, or you're put in a situation that's really awkward. So
It's kind of weird, but like for if you're a networker, if you're doing the multi-level marketing business, we love you, and this is the reason why we brought Elvin here, so that you can improve your pitch.
Yes.
So that's the thing. The thing is sometimes it sends I like like how you said it, like it's sends a different vibe because it takes away if you take away the relationship,
the
and
trust, basically.
and
you ruin the
just
trust.
focus on the transaction aspect of things. I don't think you're gonna get either a referral or a return, a return business. So it's a really good. And that I share that story because a lot of people, like especially they're selling to me, and I'm the easiest person to be sold to because I also sell, and I love being sold to. There was even this video of. There's a guy who works in in a restaurant here, and he's very talkative, very entertaining, and he said like, would you like to get this? He tried to upsell me with the different dishes, and I just said, because I had so much fun and I felt like we had a bonding.
Yeah.
I just said like, yeah, what else do you have? And
That's his art.
yeah,
That's its art.
yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, he doesn't have to. I don't know. There was a video, and he's now in H&M now. I saw him in H&M, but he had a video. He used to be part of a restaurant, one of the major restaurants here, and he has a video there. He keeps on making a joke, and I experienced that personally. And when he said like, how about lumpia, sir? Do you like more lumpia? This is a really good lumpia, and I really like it. And favorite chicken, sir. So I started saying, yeah, maybe we need more lumpia. And then what else do you have? And he's very, very, there's a candor, and there's no agenda at all.
Yeah.
If you're really passionate, it flows, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
So better to be relational than being a transactional one.
wow.
Yeah. If you're in a sales business, whether you're in a multi-level business or insurance, real estate, what else do you have?
And there's
A lot.
every business
Every
needs
business
a
needs sales, yeah.
sales team. Or,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Wow, and if I believe that like if you follow what Elvin said, if you master the art
Of questioning.
of questioning, be a master
Listening.
asker, listening. There's so many more, right?
Yes.
Many more. You can go really deep, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is.
How did this transform your life personally, Elvin?
Well, when I started in sales way back 2012, well, I realized that there are people out there who need help, basically from people who are serving this kind of products or service. So I realized that, well, many years ago, the meaning of my success was to earn money. Because I was thinking like, oh, what's the feeling if you have lots of money?
Yeah.
And when I earned money, my heart was not, I was not satisfied about it. It was like, oh, my heart is still empty. And when I started coaching my colleagues in our company, when I started coaching them how to, close sales, how to get more referrals, and these people followed the approach or techniques. And then after 2 weeks, then they apply those techniques and they get some results. And they came back to me and said, Elvin, thank you so much for teaching me.
Yeah.
And that kind of feeling I felt was truly amazing. And I said to myself, this is my passion. And this is the meaning of success. It's not about the money. It's all about helping other people get what they want.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So it inspired me a lot to keep doing what I do right now.
Awesome. So it's really this is what we notice with people who are passionate about what they're doing. They always have a goal or a vision that is greater than themselves.
Yes.
And,
Absolutely.
And you definitely display that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So
Yeah.
we normally end this section of the show with the learning from both Dave and I. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So Dave, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. So,
As usual.
this episode or this interview has a lot of very
Truth bombs.
truth bombs, nuggets that
Nuggets,
golden nuggets.
Yeah.
Then myself, I couldn't even figure out which one I should choose, but just right off my mind, I think it's really important to know that if you're in sales, you're in the business of serving mainly, and that's if you're really true of serving that client, that person you talk to, and have the respect of not like deceiving them, of not like giving them different agendas or just thinking of them as a source of money. I think that's a really good way to do sales, and it's worth pondering about. If you're thinking of just people, as your next meal to give you the next meal, then I think that's a really wrong way to do it. So, take Elvin's advice about that. Truly serving people.
Well said.
Okay. So to me, it's I like what you said about being ethical. I really believe that if more salespeople will be trained the right way, with the right passion, the right attitude, the right discipline, and I really believe that it will enrich like the industry itself.
Yes.
Because we've already met a lot of we call that snake oil salesmen. who are just there just to get the cash and doesn't think about service, doesn't think just transactional feel. There's just feel like, oh, this person is just after after me giving the money and that's it. And if you have the right attitude and you build that right off the bat, when you start your selling business, when you start your selling career, I think it's really gonna benefit the whole industry, the selling industry. It brings back the trust, the type of because sales. There's a feeling that salespeople are just trying to move the products, right, or the service. But I really believe that the sales process is essential for from a bigger picture. The sales process is essential for economy and livelihood. Everything is almost attached to the sales. Everything is attached to the sales process. So it rotates the money, and if we have more salespeople that are very ethical, that are master askers, they're really interested in what you need, and they can match that with the service or the product. I think it's just gonna be very beneficial. And because a lot of people are still thinking transactional in the sales business, if you want to go above that and really be a real sales professional, then you follow what Elvin shared, I think you're gonna go in the top maybe 5% in the industry, which is really cool.
Well said. Well said.
All right, so now
Move on to our next session.
I'm a bit talkative today. The lightning round. All right, so Elvin,
Okay.
this is the section where we want to get to know you better.
The
By
same
asking you,
questions,
by asking you short questions, and then you can answer briefly because again, this is like lightning round. So the first question, Elvin, is: do you have a morning routine? And if you have, can you share it to our audience?
Yes, I have a morning routine. Every time I wake up in the morning, I grab my Bible or some audiobooks that talk about God, godly thing. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
And also I exercise regularly, like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, like push-ups, simple things. And then I do it at home. And then also eat sensibly.
Yeah.
In other words, I manage to eat 1 cup rice every meal. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then keeping in touch with my loved ones. And also reading articles or books a day, at least 2 hours. That's
Awesome.
my,
Yeah.
those are my major rocks in a day.
Okay, so what are the can you break it down? So why do you have those routine in place? What's the reason for that?
Well, I am inspired by the late Zig Ziglar. Exactly the same.
Oh, that's what
Yes. He reads his Bible, eats sensibly, exercise regularly, keeping in touch to his loved ones, and then reading books every day. And I saw the result. He's the legend. So
Yeah.
that's that kind of result I really want to have in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zig Ziglar is a really good role model. Yeah.
Absolutely.
His book is See at the Top, right?
See you at the top.
And what's about the book about
Selling Career 101, a lot of books.
Yeah, a lot of
Zig
books.
Ziglar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so while we're at it, we're just gonna talk more about it. So aside from Zig Ziglar, do you have resources that you want to share to our audience, like books or audiobooks or seminars?
Yeah.
Aside from yourself, yeah.
Actually, I love selling books. I love motivational books,
Yeah.
podcasts, and some other resources.
Yeah.
So the book that I am reading right now is actually The One Thing by
Gary Keller.
very, very nice book. And also I love, going back to the basic, which is the purpose-driven life of Rick
Right,
Warren.
Rick Warren, yeah.
The revised one, the new edition. And also basing it with the best book ever in the whole world, and that is the Bible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome. Right.
A lot of books there. I like some books, but it's only worldly thing. I want to have books that are biblical.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I choose books to read on.
Awesome.
Very nice sources.
Next question: who or what inspires you?
Well, number one is my family. my family, especially my parents, because when I finished my high school, my parents couldn't support my college studies. And because of that, well, that time, I completed a 3-year course in one of the schools in our place, Cagayan de Oro City. And because of that, I finished my education because of the scholarship. So my parents couldn't support my study, but then I love their attitude, I love their passion, and I love their discipline. That's why I'm bringing those 3 values right now: passion, discipline, and attitude. Even if they don't have that money, even if they don't have that much, but still the values are priceless. So they inspired me a lot. And also my former boss, my former consultant, Mr. Paul Dumont.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the owner of, the founder of Enhanced Visa Services Incorporated. Because of him, he believed in me that I can be the champion in the team. That was 2014 when 2013 when I visited his office and said, "Sir Paul, I think I need to go back to where I started." And he said, "Don't give up, Elvin. I believe in you. You can be the champion in the team." I believe in his words. And I followed his advice that I need to be mentored by my colleagues and I need to be mentored by the seniors, and I followed.
Yeah.
And because of that, I got the best results. So thank you, Sir Paul. If you're watching right now, wow, credit to you.
Wow, Paul has that gift, to
Absolutely.
uplift people, and that's a really key attitude of leaders, the real leaders. The real leaders are actually people who brings out the leaders in people around them, and I think Paul has that. His
Yeah.
gift. All right, next question.
So,
Dave.
next question is: do you consider yourself successful?
I am, because I count small things and big things. What I'm trying to say here, I am successful because I am able to teach people. I am able to touch the lives of thousands of people. I am able to add value. So that's why, for me, it's a big success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you contribute to other people's lives,
Absolutely.
it's a success.
And seeing the effect and results
Yeah.
because of your help, that's priceless.
Okay, awesome. This is the next question would be, we have people who sometimes watch this show or subscribe to our podcast, and they're either working in a job that they don't really like, and they feel stuck in that part of their career, or they maybe a lot of people also who send us a message are working abroad and they want to go home to their family, but they don't know like what type of future that will happen if they will do that. There's a big risk, definitely. What type of advice can you give them?
Well, that's true. A lot of OFWs right now are not enjoying about their job. So the thing that I can share with you is this: always be grateful with what you have. For example, are you happy being paid? Just ask yourself about it. If you're happy being paid, then always be grateful about your company.
Yeah.
And if you are not happy, or if you're not loving your job right now, well, think about it. Think about it like, what is it really from, ask yourself like, what's really your need right now, and where do you see yourself in the next 2 years or 5 years? So I want you to take a look of your life. Like, I want you to imagine, what is it that's something that make you happy when you do this kind of thing? And that's where you started your purpose. Okay? Because I started my purpose way back 2017, where I found my mission. Right. During Mission to Millions, in one of the programs of, I joined in Singapore. So I realized that looking back in my life and seeing the best that I want, the best results that I want to have 2 years or 5 years from now. So it's all about knowing your purpose, and it's all about identifying the things that you want to do. And if you do things, do you love about it? Do you feel satisfied about it? And if you do, then do that things. If you're not happy anymore, I'm telling you, time to consider quitting your job.
Awesome.
And follow your mission.
Wow. All right.
Last question,
Last
Dave.
question.
I'll
All
ask.
right. I'll ask it. So for those people who wants to know about your seminars, trainings, and for just to connect with you, how can they do that?
Well, if you want to know our upcoming trainings or seminars in the Philippines, you can actually visit our Facebook page at Elevate Results Training and Consulting and click the event, and you'll see all the events of Elevate Results for the first and second quarter of the year.
Wow. All right.
All right.
So if they want to connect with you,
The same page.
Yeah, just
Same page?
visit to my page and also to my personal account, Elvenril Camus, and also to our website, www.elevateresults.com.ph. Yeah.
awesome. All right.
Elvin,
Wow.
thank you so much. It's been a very productive, time because, of the things that you've shared. I'm pretty sure, people who will watch this video, who watch this show, will, definitely learn whether or not they're in a sales industry or not, right? Just hanging out with you in the next, and in this, an hour already. And, you're definitely learning from you. And thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. My pleasure being here. And thank you for allowing me to share the message to people out there who are looking for, right way of selling and, operating their lives as well.
Wow.
Okay, so for the if you want to know, all the resource lists, all the links will be, posted in the Big Picture That page.
And also we have if you're interested for the next event, we have the link, special link, the bigpicture.ph
/
elevate. Yeah,
Okay.
so you can check it out from there.
Yeah, you can register there, and we'll be with you, and we'll be creating a separate video also if you want to register that there also. Okay.
Yes.
With
If you know anyone who's struggling with sales, please refer them to this video or to this podcast or this episode. Share it to them, or if you think that you were touched by the
or if you know someone who's not yet ethical, send the video.
or all the networkers,
No, I'm just kidding.
You can
We
share
love
it
you
to
guys.
them. Yes.
Thank you so much, Elvin.
Thank you, Joseph, and thank you, Dave.
All right, so guys, this has been an amazing, wonderful time to record. This has been Joseph,
This is Dave.
and this is Elvin saying goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.